How do you see the property comparison within the Germany and to the Dubai? How do you see, like, if we see in our age, in this era, people are fighting in two topics. One is don't buy a house. The second one is supporting buy a house. How do you see this fight within the industry right now? So you're saying to buy a property and then you can save the taxes.
But because the building depreciates every year, you get a goodie from the government.
Ready? Good I do. 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone, my name is Aqib Rana and you are watching my digital channel. Today I have with me
Vanessa.
Welcome Vanessa to
Thank
my
you.
podcast. So first of all, tell what you do.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Very nice having me here. Thank you so much. My name is Vanessa. I'm into real estate here in Germany. So I might say a real estate agent, but I always say I'm a little bit more than an agent because I support expat clients here in Germany in terms of real estate.
Okay, and what you studied for the real estate agent?
Well, it didn't start actually here in Germany. It started back in Canada. Because Germany, I can tell you a little bit of differences. In Germany, you get your certificate, you pay a little bit of money, and then you're a real estate agent.
Yes, yes.
In Canada, you actually have to go to school.
All right.
And you have to kind of do a little, I would say a mini studies for that. So you have to finish school, you have to learn about all these things, and then you become your real estate certificate.
And how do you see in terms of property in Canada? Because you studied there and now you are living in Germany and working here. So how do you see the property comparison in both countries?
You cannot compare them, right?
Okay.
So even the real estate market 6 years ago was completely different than now. It's a different lifestyle, whether people here in Germany, they're renting more, right? So not even half of the population in Germany is owning properties. They own where they live in there. But in Canada, they own properties and they live in there.
The same in USA as well.
Yeah.
How do you see, like, if we see in our age, in this era, people are fighting in two topics. One is don't buy a house. The second one is supporting buy a house. How do you see this fight within the industry right now?
In Germany?
Yeah.
That's a question what I get asked almost every day. What should I do? Should I buy a home? Should I buy investment? What should I do? Because prices are high.
Yes.
Interest rates are high. So you kind of, the market is changing. Let me tell you how this country works, right? So as mentioned, that not even half of the population in Germany are owning their own property. What makes sense here, what makes more sense, is really getting an investment property and benefiting from that. How you benefit from that? Tax savings. So you pay huge of an amount of taxes here in this country.
So you're saying to buy a property and then you can save the taxes.
Exactly. Buy a property, have a tenant in there, obligate the tenant to pay out your debt. At the same time, you save taxes.
And how we will gonna save the taxes?
Now, it's always good to see the numbers, but everything, so just remember, everything what is dedicated to that property on costs, you can deduct them on taxes. For example, interest rate, because people say, the interest rates are high, I'm not going to buy. But most of the people, they don't know when they buy a investment property, they can deduct that on taxes. So let's say 4% is the interest rate, and you have the highest tax, so it's 40 to 45%.
42%.
So you get some money back from the Finanzamt, right?
Yes.
So not only interest rate, you can deduct everything. For example, you have to see the property in another city, hotel costs, car, train costs, property management costs. So everything what is for the property.
Your expenditures, you can put it into the rental property and then you can claim the taxes.
Exactly.
So these taxes can benefit you in terms of if you're paying 4% of your interest rate or however, then it will compensate you. Do you see there is a depreciation of the property as well? We see in Germany. So do you think that 4% of the credit and the depreciation in next 5 years, how do you compare in both of them?
So the good thing is, obviously the building depreciates and most of the buildings here in Germany are old. We cannot expect we're gonna have here 90s
Yeah.
properties or new properties, but because the building depreciates every year, you get a goodie from the government, which is usually 2 to 2.5% of depreciation. So you
Okay.
get also money, right? But only in an investment property. So it depends. New buildings, they have 3% depreciation. But what I want to tell you is the value of the property.
So
will
you
always
see that the person should itself live on rent and buy a property and give them on rent.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
and doing this, you can make another property.
Exactly. You can make another investment property. So you park your money somewhere and the money grows for you. Okay? Or what some of my clients also do, they say, hey, we really wanted to have our own property, we have family or whatever, but they say, no, we want to go first for a small property. It could be 100, 200K. It doesn't have to be a 500K property. And later they wait maybe another 2 years, and then they go for their own property. Because the bank will ask you, okay, what assets do you have? And if you say, hey, I have an investment property, they recognize that investment property is 100%.
All right.
So it's actually better going that way instead of going first the other way, that you buy your own and then investment, because otherwise you're financially caught up.
So do you suggest that if any person, let's say if I am here and I want to buy a house for my family, so is it a loss if I buy a house for my family and go and live there and paying every month some money to the bank? How do you see this thing? Or it's better for me living within a city where is everything nearby and paying everything on rent, or this is better?
Yeah.
What do you think? Which one is better?
You have to, it's very individual, you know. So let's say if you really, you know, you got your first kid or second, you have to move out, it's too small, and you found a good deal on a primary home, that's a different story. Okay. But if you're, I don't know, probably single couple, you have so many opportunities, right?
Exactly.
You know how it is. We have kids, so we know how this is.
Yeah.
But when you're single couples, I will go for that, you know. You just, you know, spend it.
In the beginning you told that you were studying in Canada, right? So if we see the Canada and USA, people go to the outskirts, will buy the property about 400,000, 500,000. But if it comes to Europe, when it's come to specifically for the Germany, we see people don't want to go into the suburbs, right? Because they see there is no good connections, or there for the kids, they don't have school nearby. They also trying to buy a property
In the city.
close to the city or within the city. How do you see this self? Why people are not interested to buy the property in the outskirts?
That's one factor, as you said. You know, you should have a S-Bahn, a train station somewhere nearby. But now even, like, I'm from Munich, and Munich is really behind to build near the S-Bahn station. So they really want that. Obviously, if you don't have such a opportunity, it's bad, right? So what people do, they move towards city. It's an individual thing, but I suggest to look at the whole thing, right? So most people, they don't even want to drive with the S-Bahn anymore. They take a car, like in the US, right? So,
Exactly. Makes sense. And what do you think about how to see the house, right? You cannot see the house when you go inside because they can renovate it, right? It looks really nice, new paint, new floor, and a lot of lights. You see, oh wow, that's so nice. And later on, after 5 years, there is a leakage or whatever, then you have to pay more. How do you see that? How can we recognize a good house?
You can never see what is inside the walls. So you have to basically open it and check everything.
Right.
No one does that, right?
Okay.
If you really want to make sure to do that, get an appraisal. Get a professional appraisal, pay that appraisal, and, you know. But even if the appraisal checks the property after 5 years, a leakage might come. We don't know, right? It might happen for an older building, but it might also happen for a new building.
Oh, yeah.
But you should look at the full thing, right? You should look, okay, when I do my showings, I start actually in the basement.
Okay.
It's not so nice, but I show my clients, okay, it's dry here, right? So you really look at the walls, you look at the pipes. I show them the keller, and then we go to the nice part, right?
Exactly.
So because it's not just about the apartment, it's about the foundation. With that being said, yes, renovate it looks nice, but you have to have a feeling for that. Okay, did they just change the floor, paint it, and sell it for way, way more? Or did they do more
But don't you
things?
think that people who are like millionaires in the property business in the whole world,
Yeah.
they always suggest you to buy an old property, renovate it, and sell it on top of it, have some margin. So how do you see this? They are suggesting you this, that buy old property,
Yeah.
and then you say don't buy an old property.
I mean, it depends what your strategy is gonna be. Is your strategy gonna be buy it and hold it? So basically, buy it as it is and you hold it for 10 years, okay? Then you can sell tax free. Or is your strategy, as you probably know, fix and flip? So you buy it old, renovate it, and then you sell it. So these are two different strategies.
So if I buy old, fix it, and sell it, is there any years that I have to wait, or
No,
I can sell it right away?
exactly. Or you buy it, you renovate it, and rent it.
Okay.
That's also an option. But you have to know about everything. You have to have professionals. We're in Germany here. We're not like here, everything is paperwork. They cover you in papers over here. So it's not just renovating, you have to go through paperwork. Everything is behind, even purchasing a property. It's not easy to say, okay, I'm gonna go there to sign. Gives you a little bit headache.
They will also cost you to sign a paper.
It will cost you. It's not only you. It's the lawyer. It's the bank. It's this, that. So it's so many parties are involved.
Yes. And in your career, since you're working until now, did you see any fraudulent deals? How we can recognize it, the scams in the property, or how can we save ourselves? Because let's say if an average person is spending 500,000 to 1 million, it's a lot of money. We can say it's whatever you earn until now, you're doing it. So how we can save this?
Yeah, I mean, you have to compare, right? You have to, if you have, I don't know, a house and it's 500K and you feel it's too much, and you already paying 500K, get an appraisal better, right? Get someone who goes there, who checks everything, but not every time, because an appraisal costs money. You have to look also on the surrounding for how much are the properties sold in the same street, in the same area. So all these factors are playing an important role, because if this one is sold for 500K and 2 blocks further for 300K.
So do you think that does the property have any documentation when they are selling? Like for example, if we take a car example, right? They have a TÜV certificate. Yeah. You see, okay, the car is perfectly fine. They have 2 years for TÜV. And just close eyes and buy it. If there is something bad, you can reclaim it. And you can return the car. Is there something in the house industry that there is a certificate, the house is perfect, you don't need to pay anything to anyone and just buy the house?
I would say no.
Nothing.
Someone else would tell you, oh yes, don't worry, I'm very transparent, guys. You're not gonna have the perfect deal.
All right.
The perfect and everything's amazing. This is not going to happen.
Yeah.
But what you can see is check your protocols, check the documents which are coming within the property. Again, get an appraisal. That's kind of the TÜV guarantee, so that could be a guarantee. Also, maybe some real estate companies, for example, I'm working with, they give you also certain guarantees. So this might help you protect yourself, at least for the next 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years is better. So what do you suggest to the good age to buy a house? Because when the age is increasing, maybe bank will not lend you a lot of money. So what do you see is a good, perfect age to buy a house?
That's not true about might be if it's very old, you're right, and the price is super high.
Yes.
The bank
will not get
it. There are different strategies. So one is 50s, I would say from 50s to 90s. Okay, these are kind of the typical properties, which are mostly on sale. And then you have the older properties in the 1900s. So these properties are also renovated, could be renovated, right? And then you have more depreciation. So on the ones which are between 50s and 90s, you have 2% depreciation. And the ones from 1900s, you have up to 9% depreciation. So it depends. Here, more depreciation, older property saving more taxes, or the other part. There's no perfect age. It's just the
Do you think it's
whole
because
thing.
if we see the monthly payment plan will be for 15 years, for 30 years. So do you see between 30 to 40 years is a good age to buy a house? Or in between, maybe if you pass away?
30 to 40, you mean the amortization of the...
I mean, 30 to 40 year of the age of the person.
Oh, of the... Oh, okay. Yeah, that's average.
That's
My clients
average.
are average, and that's 30 to 40s. But yeah,
All right.
that's really... yeah, you have
Good
to...
age.
Yeah, it's a good age. Yeah, obviously, everyone kind of settling down with
Yes.
work, maybe
Yes.
family or so on.
Yeah.
But I say the earlier the better.
We also seeing within the Germany, even whole world, they are moving toward Dubai, right? And people, the way they are presenting Dubai right now, the same price apartment have in Germany, they have the same price in Dubai, right? And they're selling more and more and telling them the ROI is 8%, yeah, which is too high right now.
Yeah.
And if we see in the Germany, what is the ROI currently here, and how do you see the property comparison within the Germany and to the Dubai?
I'd like to talk about things what I know, or let's say about things where I've been or where I want to be. So you always have to think, okay, would I buy somewhere where I want to live? These two markets again are completely different. Some people they compare it, which in my opinion is not the right thing. I mean, Dubai is great, you know, they're proceeding a lot with lots of things, especially the real estate market. But I heard from great contacts, they say I wouldn't live there because I don't know, it's too hot.
Yeah. We see the rain problem
Rain
recently.
problem.
Everything is flooded right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that Dubai government will gonna pay them, because if you are living in an apartment, you might have expensive couch, your TV, your cupboards, right? So your clothes could be expensive, and everything is flooded out. It will be maybe $100,000 you have flooded with the flooded.
Yeah, that's true, but it's also about where are you imagining yourself. Completely different prices. And yes, you have a great ROI, but think about it. Not everyone has a chance to go to Dubai.
How do you see Dubai in next 10 years? What's your thoughts on it? So let's say the people are living here and wanted to invest in Dubai. Would you suggest them to invest in Dubai?
I wouldn't say no. That's always I say that's your responsibility. But
Okay. Why?
I'm investing where I live and where
Okay.
I know the market. Let's say that. I'm living here. I know what is going to happen maybe in future. I mean, not exactly, but I know that many people are coming to Germany, right?
Yes.
So Germany has a need of rentals. We have a
Exactly.
bad situation right now. We don't have any rentals.
Is it also possible to live in the same house? Let's say if a small couple with 1 or 2 kids, and because there is a top building and there is a basement as well, to put them the property on the rent too, and you should also live, and by doing this together you can save the taxes or some amount of money, or you can assure them to the bank something.
Yeah, it's kind of not easy way, but you can do that. You have to just divide that, but find a house like this. That's the other part, right?
It's the other
it's
part.
a dream of us to say, I
Right.
want to have a house above I want to rent, and on the ground floor I do live.
What is right now in Germany the ROI is currently? What do you see? What is now?
A good ROI?
Yeah,
would
well,
say-
average we can count, like, because you never know. If before the corona there was something else, yeah, after the corona there is something else. So what do you see now?
I would say towards, so from 3.5 is great. Towards 4, beautiful. I can tell
Nice.
you my properties to have from 4%, which is good. So that means
Right.
your payment out of your pocket is not that high.
And you yourself living in your property, or you're renting the property?
I'm renting,
You're renting and
investing.
you're investing, both doing together.
Yeah.
Never you feel that this is a rental apartment, I never belong to here, or something kind of vibes?
Obviously, yes. Sometimes, you know, it comes up, but then I'm like, okay, wait. Just don't go emotional. we women are more emotional.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, you know, you want to have your own, you want to pay the rent to yourself. You know, all these thoughts are coming
Exactly.
up.
Your kids growing in the
Yeah.
apartments, you have a lot of memories there.
Yeah, obviously, all this is coming. But I know how it is in Germany that we rent here for our lives.
Exactly.
So it will come. I know it will come. But first, I want to double my money. I wanna leverage, and then I wanna do that. And I'm still gonna have the chance in a couple of years to get a beautiful house.
All right. And what do you suggest, let's say, currently, what you will suggest to buy the property for yourself or buy a property for investment, put them on rent?
The second one.
The second one you
Because
go?
of the market right now. If you buy it for your own, you have high interest, you have to pay lots of down payment, so you need more money, and there are no benefits.
So do you see the property investment is more better than the stock or crypto investment?
It's
How do
different.
you see both of them?
I'm invested in both. It's good to have multiple income, okay? But on a stock ETF, you have to pay taxes on a capital gain. In a real estate, I know if I keep it for 10 years and I sell it after 10 years, I don't have to pay taxes on a capital gain. So both things are great, but don't focus just on one. I would do a nice mix.
So Vanessa, it's been a decade you're working and dealing within the property. So I'm sure there will be any scam in it, any dealing, something is happened ever in your working life experience. Would you like to share anything or?
Yeah, well, recent in Germany, like, because we are right now.
However.
When I work with my clients, I want the trust from them, and I want to trust them too.
Yeah.
It's just everywhere scams in every industry. You just have to be aware that this is a high ticket business, right? So you have to, even if you're not a professional, but get yourself a professional before you get scammed. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a scam. This might happen, but for example, I had actually 3 clients. They approached me a year and a half ago, and they said, "Oh, I want to buy a property." I think it was in Berlin, a new building. It wasn't even done yet. I said, well, now it was a time 30% of the new builders, they're going bankrupt. So I said, better not to. Better go for an existing one. You see it, you can touch it, and it's there. No, I want to go for that. Okay. So it happened kind of 3-4 months in a row with these 3 clients. And last year they all came back to me. And they said, what should we do? I don't know if it was the same project developer, but they got bankrupt. Now this kind of building is halfway ready, not even. They're like, which lawyer should we take? What should we do? I said, I can tell you a little bit, but I'm not a lawyer. I don't really know what to do in that situation. Get the professional. But this shows me that sometimes you want something, you're so emotional attached. You have someone who tells you, yeah, do it just because of it's new and money.
Yes.
So that hurt me, but they still haven't finished the project. I know.
It's
so
a long year.
To the bank, but they don't have any income.
How
are you gonna have income when it's not done
it's
in
really
a
hard.
tenant?
It's really hard.
So that's kind of a thing, and I've seen a couple of things. I would say just have to be aware. Get a professional. I always ask. Have you talked to people who bought real estate?
Exactly.
Right? It's very important to talk to people, because if I want to do my hair, I don't go to a butcher. I go to a hairstylist, right? So they know. And if you want to do real estate, get professional help, right? I don't say they have to come to me, but I guess it's always important to have someone.
And what do you see? Which one is your favorite area in the Germany or favorite state to buy a house or apartment? What do you see?
You know that I'm from Munich. I love Munich. I love Bavaria, so I would say Bavaria.
Okay, after that.
After that, right now, in terms of investments?
Yes.
Like really...
Or in living, you can say, or investment.
So investment parts, I like the area around Berlin, Leipzig, Dresden, Magdeburg, because I know there are things going on right now. It's amazing in terms of companies, and it's going to be great over there because it was a quiet place, and I was like, and you can still buy great.
All right, okay.
Baden-Württemberg, obviously, it's an automotive
that's
area.
exactly, that's a beautiful place, actually.
Yeah. North Rhine-Westphalia as well. You have also a bunch of companies.
Yes.
My favorite, obviously, will be the strongest province is Bavaria.
Bavaria, right. thank you so very much.
You're
You
very
came
welcome.
from Berlin, all the way from Berlin, and you come here for this, especially for this podcast. I'm really grateful and thankful to you.
You're welcome.
We have discussed a lot of things, and yeah, thanks a lot.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you. And this is the end of the podcast. I hope you like it. If you like it, please like and subscribe the channel and give your feedback in the comment box. Your feedback is really important for me. We're gonna see you in the next video. Till then, bye.